Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Rewire. My name's Chris, and today I just want to talk a little bit about this thing we call anxiety. So, for me, I got diagnosed with anxiety not long after I got sober, a little over 4.5 years ago. And once I got a diagnosis, it started to make sense as to why I turned to drugs and alcohol in the first place. In my early sobriety, I started to have these racing thoughts, these feelings of just impending doom. I also had a lot of social anxiety, and the doctor diagnosed me with a general anxiety disorder. And they gave me some non-narcotic medications that helped out a lot. But anyways, the medications only did so much. But what I want to do this video on is actually talk about, becoming educated on what anxiety actually is, how my brain works. Same thing with my addiction. Once I became educated on how the body's actually responding and what's happening, I didn't feel like I was completely out of control. I didn't feel like this was just something that happened and it made no sense, and I felt like it was just in this spiral, and it was just, I was gonna be like this for life. So this video, hopefully it'll educate you if you don't fully understand. If you have friends who don't understand, and you want to share this with them, or, people in your life who don't know what you're going through, maybe this will help give them some clarification on what's actually happening with your brain. So I always use the Dan Siegel model of the brain, which is really easy. I use this in another video, but anyways, if this is your hand, if you fold this over, right here, your thumb, this part is it's called your amygdala. And then there's a hippocampus, and if you fold that over, you got your prefrontal cortex, and basically that's your brain. So part of what anxiety is this amygdala is getting triggered, okay? And what that is part of our fight, flight, or freeze response. And this was absolutely crucial for human survival back in the day, way back when. And just to let you know, this is the first part of the brain that actually evolved. So even kids, they have a fully evolved amygdala, but the other parts of the brain don't evolve until later. So this is just really basically part of our survival. And the reason why we need this is that when you look back at our ancestors, I always just related to like a caveman, right? So when, a lion come out, or like a bison or whatever, these hunters and gatherers, this part of the brain needed to be triggered, and it basically told them, do you fight this? Do you run away? Or do you freeze, right? And what happens is that's supposed to go off, and then when the danger is gone, then everything cools back down. But what happens when that's triggered is, and it makes sense if you think about if you're in this battle situation, right? What happens is a few different things, right? Our pupils actually get larger because it was meant to help us see, have better vision, right? Adrenaline starts rushing. It gives us, more energy. We're pumped, we're fueled up, right? Your heart will start beating faster. It needs to pump blood through our system in case we got to run away. We might start sweating because your body's trying to preemptively cool you down. One of the biggest things is that our mind, our brain, is actually thinking a lot faster, because if you're in this potentially dangerous situation fighting for your life, you need to be able to think a lot faster than normal, right? So all these different things are happening, and then what happens is once the danger is gone, that part of the brain deactivates, and you calm down, and you go back, regular heart rate, your brain calms down and all that stuff. Well, for somebody with, a general anxiety disorder, or, even a panic disorder and things like that, what happens is that a couple things. So there's people where this part of the brain gets triggered, and, it could be for something, stressful, like, we're living in 2017, so we're not running around hunting our own food and stuff, but this could be something like, just something going on at work, or dealing with friends, or, the stresses that we deal with in modern times. And what happens is once that issue is resolved, or our brain logically figures out a way to understand that and get through it and problem solve, that part of the brain doesn't deactivate, and we're still stressed. We're still in this heightened mode of anxiety. My symptoms were actually occurring without anything triggering it. So, I would just be sitting at work, and there was nothing going on. My life was fine. The bills were paid. I had great relationships and stuff like that. But all of a sudden, my mind would just start racing, right? And my mind was looking for things to worry about. anybody with social anxiety, a lot of that is what's happening is it's hard to hold a conversation because we're constantly processing these thoughts. We're thinking about, you know, what's the other person thinking of me? Am I saying the right thing? What's going on in their mind? You know, how do I look right now? And then maybe our mind starts wandering and all these crazy things. And it's hard to just even be around people. And one of the reasons I turned to mindfulness and what I talked about in the video the other day is that there's scientific evidence that these are ways to help deactivate that part of the brain. So it's something that I do constantly because even though I take a non-narcotic anti-anxiety medication, it only does so much. I still get anxiety. I still get these feelings, right? I still get worried about work and stuff. And these are things that help calm me down. So I hope this explained anxiety a little bit better for you if you didn't know, or you had kind of an understanding but not a thorough one. But check out, you know, the other video about, you know, labeling your emotions or what you're feeling, because that will greatly help you if you struggle with anxiety. All right, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, don't forget to like the video, share it with friends, and I'll see you later. Bye.